know. Wait a minute. Make sure my teeth good, cause you know. You know, just a little lavender, just a little chamomile. So what's up, everybody? It's your girl Melissa Renee with BellaMinded.com, and today we're doing something a little different. Usually it's what's new on the blog, but this is kind of been on the blog before, actually 2 years, but it's just very relevant right now. So we're finna just kind of take it back and kind of rewind it. Reminisce a little bit. Let's reminisce just a little bit. What we're reminiscing about today on the blog is a while ago, roughly 2 years ago, I did a blog about me being loud and proud and just kind of calling myself the unladylike diva. Shouts out to Mia X. If you know, you know. In that blog, I just talked about a lot of things, self-revelations that I had on being a woman or a black woman in this time and age and era. Brow raised on the fact that I am loud. I can be very loud. I won't say very loud. I'm doing too much. I can be loud. And I am opinionated and I like to talk. Some may say I talk too much. I could take that a little bit. I got taught too much on my report card in school, so I could take that. That's nothing wrong with that. Realize that the real issue wasn't that I was loud as much as my words were loud. Like, if you read in the article, I speak a lot about how I feel like it wasn't necessarily my volume that caused such a problem or an issue for a lot of people. Well, I won't say a lot of people. I would say a select group of men. My loudness was a problem for. But I realized it wasn't so much as the volume of my voice as much as it was about me being unapologetic for my views and my opinions. So in that sense, you know, I kind of stepped on some male egos. Some things were said to me like, you know, you'll never get married, a man marry you, he'll beat you, oh, you always got something to say, you talk too much, etc., etc. It's funny though, because like I've been in barbershops before where I see men talk and be loud and it's not frowned upon, but if a woman is loud and is having fun, then it becomes a problem where it's viewed as unladylike, you know. But I mean, y'all have to go read the article to kind of like get the feel of the things that I've been encountered with. If you want to read all of that, please go to BellaMinded.com, subscribe, and check out all of the articles, but definitely check out that one because I'm focusing on that one in particular at this moment due to the fact that I'm seeing a lot of talk about black women in comparison of femininity and submissiveness. I've also seen the narrative that it's a lot of young black women coming up who are ashamed to be feminine, who are ashamed to express their femininity. I can say that I do see where it is a change in how women are now moving and being received as far as being like men in a sense. I do feel like what makes us unique and special as women is kind of lost in a sense. And I can agree to the fact that maybe it is lost because women saw their mothers, their mothers, and their mothers oppressed. You might as well say, you know, they were looked at for serving a limited of purposes of laying on their back or, you know, taking care of home and the children. they weren't necessarily seen as equals in their households. I could see how viewing that and seeing how it may have oppressed your mother or your grandmother, you want to fall far away from that. But me, I feel like it's always a balance to things. I do feel like we are losing the balance of, yes, you should be assertive and be confident in who you are, and don't allow anyone, be it man or woman, to suppress you in the things that you want to do and who you want to be in life based on your gender. But at the same time, you know, it's something unique and special about a woman and us naturally having that feminine energy within us, and being receptive and being open for love and open to peel back the layers and let there be some vulnerability in the room. I do feel like there is a difference between femininity in the sense of energy and aesthetics. And I feel like that gets confused as well too, because I don't look at femininity as just aesthetically. You know, I look at femininity from an energy perspective, meaning that, and I've discussed this before, we have both, everybody has both feminine and masculine energy, and it's all about keeping them balanced, where masculine is about action and doing, and feminine is about being, you know, being present, being in the moment. And with that, if you think about it, when you're being in present, being in the moment, just allowing yourself to exist, it is a softness to that. It is a warmth. It is a gentleness with that. So to me, when I hear women talk to other women about being feminine, operate more in your feminine energy, I'm thinking about being, you know, allowing yourself to be the nurturer you need to be, allowing yourself to love, allowing yourself to be loved, be in the moment and be present and be there. That's what I think of. And if you think about it, it does correlate to, like I said, us being women and learning how to do that. And I know that may be hard. You might have found yourself being more on the grind and hustling and putting things to action and doing way more than you were able to just be. Track that energy and give off that energy. You probably couldn't do that as much because you had to play multiple hats in your household, or you saw your mother or your mother's mother or any female in that matter have to play those roles. And when you have to play those roles and make up for certain things, yeah, you can find yourself imbalanced, and you can find yourself operating more in one area than the other. And yes, that can create an off balance when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex. When it comes to dating and dealing, feel it. Like, I could say one thing about me. I feel like I do find empowerment in my femininity. So when she speaks on how you can be empowered by your femininity, I 100% agree with her. There is empowerment in your femininity. There is empowerment in looking at your body and feeling beautiful, from your stretch marks to your saggy breasts. To maybe we get it confused because we like to equate femininity with submissiveness, which I think those are two different things. So when I think a lot of times when we speak on ladylike and unladylike, in a sense, it also goes back to what something looks like as far as aesthetically, femininity aesthetically, submissiveness aesthetically, and not necessarily looking at things from a more spiritual type of way, in a sense. So once again, ladies are considered unladylike if they don't fit into this certain box of what ladies are. Like, I go back to me and my experience once again. Like, I was looked at as ghetto and loudmouth and all of these things, simply because men saw me from a more general perspective, but they weren't the men who were dealing with me on a more intimate level. They weren't on the phone with me having those late night intimate conversations. They weren't in the bedroom with me having pillow talk. They weren't at dinners with me having, you know, that intimate one-on-one talk. So, you know, you base me being a lady, me being soft, me being feminine on what you saw outside of these intimate settings, which honestly, that's to me where it counts the most, in those intimate settings. It doesn't matter what you see or what you think or how I deal with you, as opposed to how I deal with men who sit in that position that I value and that I build that rapport or that intimacy with. Who wants to necessarily submit and be vulnerable with somebody that they don't feel comfortable with in that type of intimate setting? Like, if I'm going to feel unguarded, I need to feel unguarded with somebody that I feel my feelings are going to be safe with. I should feel safe with you in regards to my feelings, so that I can be open and vulnerable. But definitely we could keep the conversation going if y'all want to comment. You know, I went reminiscing, so definitely check out the blog on bellaminded.com. At this moment it is up, so you can read and you can give your perspective and tell me, like, what are some things you feel like as a woman that you feel like you get kind of labeled as not being a lady because of it. That's another thing we don't want to talk about too. Like, we don't want to talk about, you might not be the guy or you might not be the woman to allow your partner, allow that person to feel open or vulnerable enough to be that, and you have to accept that and you have to own that. But anyway, that's all I have for right now. Definitely check out that blog, like I said, at bellaminded.com. Subscribe to www.bellaminded.com so you can get the latest or the new talk and what's new on the blog. Yes, definitely thumbs up this video if you like it. Comment below, and I will check y'all out next time. Peace.